ye burida janaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss, showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings welfare in life. The spiritual beauty, prosperity, and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. They are the real givers in the world who preach and pronounce the nectar of your message to the suffering humanity. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are reading the Gospel and we continue from where we ended on page 771. We are listening to the story. Ramakrishna is talking about the world is illusory. And he was asking a guru to a disciple, and Guru said, the world is illusory and come away with me. That means follow the spiritual path. Give up other attachment. But when it is said, the student said, but sir, revered sir, my people at home, my own people, my father, my mother, my children, my wife, all are there. They love me so much. So how can I give up? And then the Guru said, no doubt. You have missed this feeling, I and mine, and say they love you. But actually, everyone, Vedanta says, everyone loves himself or herself most. And where he finds his some similarity, there goes the love. You know. So long you find some similarity, what your mind matches with your mind, or your cravings, your emotions, then you keep link. When you don't find that, you don't find your Atman or your anything of your similarity with you. Some people say, I don't find any similarity with you. You know. So they cannot love.
But then how can opposite attract?
Opposite attracts means that's a delusion. Delusion can happen anywhere. That's what Ramakrishna said, delusion can happen anywhere. Opposite attracts. You see that, oh, no, there will be something. It's a moho. Moho is such, there is no reason and rhyme. Reason and rhyme, when it comes, then moho goes away and maya goes away. Maya, moho, the same. They are the children of the same family. One is mother, one is child. So though maya will go away, moho will go away. But it dilutes us very severely, no? So you think that most of the people in the world, we are all even, we go through the struggle when we want to be a monk and thing, no? Our mom is there, my brother is there, they love me so much. True. Not that it is bad. You should not be brute, but you should not be attached. So, but you think, your argument, oh, they love me so much. No one loves anyone. No one. Be very cut and dry. All your emotions you see, he loves me. And that person, he loves you, that same person tortures you. So, what is the love? And that to see, but the disciple does not understand that. So Sri Ramakrishna's story was continuing. And the student then, Guru taught, okay, to prove it, I will give you some test. No one loves you. Huh? Okay. He didn't believe. He told Guru, no, it is impossible. I see their love, affection. I said, okay, I will give you one pill. you go at home and take that pill. When you will take that, your symptoms, body will be reacting in such a way, you will find that all symptoms of death, dead body, all symptoms of dead body will be visible. And then I will go. Then you will see whether they love you or not. Then he went similarly and went and took that pill, and all the symptoms of death came. And naturally, as we are, even we are in ignorance or whatever, our affection is there, apparent affection. So they all started weeping, mom, dad, wives, daughter, son. Naturally, it's a huge shock. And then they said, okay. Then the Guru went there and he said, why are you so weeping? He said, oh, our son, he was so he was so active and thing, and he was the only source of our whole family maintenance. And he's dead. What shall you do? Oh, don't worry. I have some pill. And I can make him come out back. Everyone was excited. But one condition. I'll give this pill. Someone will have to eat. And if he eats, then he will die. In exchange, he will be awake. So I think that you are all crying, weeping, so you love this son so much. So any one of you can, you all are willing to give your life, so why not? So you just take any one of you, take the pill, and then you will be dead. One will die, but he will be awake. Then everyone put some argument. My son is dead, he is gone already. But who will look after all the grandchildren and together? See, if I die, who will look after them? Then father said, if I die, then who will look after the entire? Anyhow, he is dead, already dead, what can I do? So all escape one by one by one. And that is the lesson, to understand that world is illusory. It is giving the idea of detachment, the idea not to be actually meaning that everyone should be unkind and not selfish, so much selfish to see their own selfish mood and not to take care of mom, dad or brother, sister who are there. But the question is the renunciation. The question of renunciation, it is necessary. And we are deluded really, we think that someone loves. No one loves, only God can love. It is God, that's why that beautiful verse of the Upanishad, that the son, the wife does not love the husband because of the wife, of the husband. Wife does not love the husband because of the husband, but because of the Atman, as I was talking about. They find something there similar, some spark, some reflection in that. Mindness, me and mindness. And that's why. So no one loves, but Pattu kamayo puti priyo bhavati. But what? Atmanastu kamayo puti priyo. Everywhere we feel attraction. You look like a beautiful flower, he says, ha ha ha. You don't like the flower. If you had liked the dry flower, you don't keep it in your room. What do? Beautiful flower, when it dries up, what do? Just throw away. So, beautiful person. But when they die, you put it what? Immediately call the 911 or the mortuary, and then and then after some time, if it is not kept in mortuary, then you will not go near the body at all. So whom you loved? So that is the Atman you loved. But that Atman is everywhere. That's why attraction is natural. It is the attraction between the Atman and the Atman. So to find that Atman then. Don't get deluded through the external form of it, because external form will change, but the Atman will not change. So that is the philosophy of life. That's why, how to get that? So detach. So that is the training for. So we read that. So now the last line we read on that day is page 771. The disciples saw everything and heard everything. He stood up at once and said to the teacher, "Let us go, revered sir, I'll follow you." Yeah. So then he responded to the call of the teacher to renounce. Christ said, "I will make you the fishers of men." They are casting net. So fisher of catching fish. But I will make you the fishers of men. That means to redeem people. I will help you. So come, follow me. Someone said, "Oh, I have my this duty." Same message. I have this duty, that duty. Let the dead bury their dead. Said tremendous words of renunciation, no? So for highest realization, not for us, for the highest state of realization, they are ruthless like that. For love for God, they can give up everything. Ramakrishna also said, it is for the love for God one can give up everything, but not everything can be given for any other purpose. No? For God you can give up. And what is God? You may say, why not? God is not in all these people? Well, yes, but your mind is not ready. When you find these are God, this is God, this is God, then you feel attached. You cannot make that discrimination. And to look at the whole world, they get attached, and then attachment brings all these step-by-step problems. What step problem? Attachment will bring attachment, aversion, anger, frustration. Then forgetting your own identity, you will be crying and weeping and emotionally attached, always jumping, howling. And the life goes on. Look at everyone's life from a distance. So that picture is there, no? A baby is born and growth gradually, no? How they show it? Attain the youth and then decline, and is sick and then go to the dead, no? So this change is continuously happening. It's for everyone. And what is the life? Mostly life is without any ultimate goal, for having to eat, to sleep, and to lie and die. Finish. If you analyze the whole life cycle, I'm talking from a very high philosophical stand and also spiritual stand. It is not denying the world. It is not saying that world is bitter. No. But what a world is full of joy. To understand that it is joy, one needs to practice certain thing. To what is that, to catch that reality. Otherwise, look at everyone's life. Say, everyone have your friends, you have your friends, you have your relatives. See how life starts. And all the fight going on. My portion of the property, your portion, that's money. I should get this much, you should get that much. Going to fight and curse and going to court, case and this and that, everything going on. What? I. And that I, nurturing the I from childhood, and go to school, get a good grade, and then this and that, and then got a good job and get good money, and then have a simple life and find a good girl or boy, and then get married, and then after some time, that whatever happens, good marriage or bad marriage, whatever it happens, ultimately you get bitter about the world, and life's last part, what did I do whole life? No? So it is only the repetition of the same thing going on. So to want to escape from this problem, so this is the renunciation is necessary. We are reading yesterday the Nectar of Supreme Knowledge. The first chapter is detachment. And the second chapter is that detachment is not possible, negative. You have to focus on the self. It is not saying that throw away everything, but see as God. Look at your wife as God. Look at your husband as God. Your child, your friend, your relative, wherever. It's God permeated everywhere. Just look at that. But how can you do that? Unless you are detached to the external, attractive portion of the reality, which is changing every day, you cannot reach that unchanging truth. So that is the lesson. And Sri Ramakrishna says, let us go and revere Sir, and I will follow you. That was the part. Another disciple said to the teacher, quote, Revered Sir, my wife takes great care of me. It is for her sake I cannot give up the world. The disciple practiced Hatha Yoga. The teacher taught him, too, a trick to test his wife's love. One day, there was a great wailing in his house. The neighbors came running and saw the Hatha Yogi seated in a posture and his limbs paralyzed and distorted. It becomes such distorted. They thought he was dead. His wife fell on the ground, weeping piteously. Oh, what has befallen me? How have you provided for our future? What? How have you provided for our future? Oh, friends, I never dreamt I should meet such a fate. In this meantime, the relatives and friends have brought a cot to take the corpse out. He's in the room, he was meditating and he's become deformed. But suddenly a difficulty arose as they started to remove it, since the body was twisted and stiff. It could not be taken out through the door. Ramakrishna's stories are very, very crude sometimes, to give a grim picture of life. No, don't think that all wives will be like that. And also, loving does not mean that he will have to sacrifice his life. Only the women will have to do that. It is a men folks book. Not that. It is maybe for the husband. You can put it opposite way. Just to understand. Understand the point, not the incident, not the story. Normally when we give example, we will have to be careful. Don't take it literally. But you have to take the inner meaning, why this expression is given, why this example is given. So a neighbor quickly brought an axe and began to chop away the door frame, so that if the door is cut, then body will go in. The wife was crying bitterly. When she heard the sound of the axe, she ran to the door. What are you doing, friends? She asked, still weeping. The neighbor said, we can't take the body out, so we are chopping away the door frame. Please, said the wife, don't do any such thing. True, from the realistic point, you look at that. I am a widow now, and I have no one to look after me. I have to bring up these young children. If you destroy this door, I shall not be able to replace it. Friends, death is inevitable for all, and my husband cannot be called back to life. You had better cut his limbs. It is easy to take the body out. The Hatha Yogi once stood up. The effect of the medicine had worn out. He said to his wife, you evil one, you want to cut off my hands and feet, do you? So saying, he renounced home and followed his teacher. All laughed. But don't take it that it is for the women, but the men also. They will care. They will care. Do they care for their wife? If such situation comes, they will try to save themselves. That is the philosophy. No one loves anyone. Everyone loves the self. Atmaje, Navare pattukamayo puti priyo bhavati atmanastu kamayo puti priyo bhavati. You love your Atman because you love yourself and you do not know what is yourself. And you see some reflection in someone, there your love comes. When you will not be able to see that, then divorce comes. See, in every home it is happening. Today's friendship breaking tomorrow. Relationship is just going out. Why? If you find the same, love is the same, you have seen that, you will never be separated. How can you be separated? And when someone says emotionally, I will be there for you forever. What nonsense you are talking. You are never together. Before birth you are not together. In your life at certain point of time you met together. And then you will be separated again when God knows. So it is all because I find something similar from my nature to somebody. That is the normal. And Vedantic understanding, because the Atman is here, Atman is there. That is the attraction between the Atman. And when we don't find that similarity, then we cannot live together. So this is the point, that you are thinking that everyone loves us. That's your normal belief. That's why many boys who join in our order, they fall in much difficulty. With this attachment, when they sometimes, no, of course our responsibility, duty we should to do. Ramakrishna didn't encourage that anyone will join a monastery where mother is hungry or there is nobody to look after. But it also happened. So Ramakrishna said, if one is sincere, God arranges for everything. So it does. One sadhu was there in our order, I remember. He was the only son of a widow mother. And there is nobody to look after. She is not a educated lady. In the early days, or a mother, where they are busy in the household activity, where is the school-going thing was not much in India. And now, when suddenly he was the school headmaster, the boy educated himself, and he was very loving headmaster. And all the students, all the teachers, they obey him because of his dedication, day and night, offering service to the school-wise development. And that he was loved by everyone. But he came to study in B.Ed college, in our B.Ed college, and I was the superintendent there. And then, so after some time, I left, but he was that continuing the study, and when he finished that, he got the inspiration to join. Now, he has not sufficient money, he is only widow mother's one son, and he is very charitable. Whatever money he gets for the students, giving books, giving money for feeding, and little keeping for mom and himself. He has no balance, bank balance or anything. And now suddenly he decided he will be a monk. So our sadhus also said, no, it's not fair. They say, look after the mother. Mother, first of all, mother's emotion, son to leave the son. And second point, the financial situation. But he took a decision. He said, he prayed and cried to God, cried to Ramakrishna, Thakur and Ma, and then please make some arrangement. And he declared, when he went back, resigned from the headmastership, and all the teachers then, they requested, no, why then he said, yes, if you love me, then could you do something for me? Could you look after my mom? I don't want anything. Can you, all of you love so much? And actually, the teachers, all the teachers, they came together. And his mother used to say, my one son is gone, but so many son has come in my life. And they all together took by rotation all the responsibility of the mother, much more comfortably, financial or material needs were satisfied. If one sincerely sincerely goes for God, God arranges all these things. It is not a brutal thing. So only that's why they should have to cry and pray to Thakur, pray to Ma, pray to God, no? And he will make arrangement. So the point is that God arranges. But those people say, no, no, no. Many of them came and he was almost joining, came back. And when I remember one boy, when he came, I just was new brahmachari then. I was very great enthusiasm to make everyone calling and making them, hey, come, come. so, so one of my friend, you can say, not little junior, but friendly, and he wanted to, seeing this, he got inspired to join. Okay, well, come. And all arrangements have been done, and he left home, and to avoid disturbance, so he is going to a little distance, some other center, little away from mom, to come every day to cry and weep. So, and the son, his younger brother came. He was to go away by a train ticket was purchased and everything. That he came. Only his brother said, "My mom is crying and weeping. She is not eating anything. So you will have to come. Otherwise, she is going to die." And naturally, it's financial issue is not the question. Who will look after is not the question. Home is there, money is there, everything is there. Only, I love the son. And he came. I said, you are going, but will you be able to come back? No, 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 I'll come back only to just tell mom, this, that, and I'll reconcile with her and then come back. And then he went and gone. And they immediately arranged for a girl and get him married, that's all, finished. Yeah. Not that nothing, I'm not saying it is, I'm not just giving a statement. How we think we love. You don't love your mom. You love yourself. That's why you got married. If it was for the mother, you could have stayed at home without doing anything, earning money, serving day and night like mother, no? So, but you got married. You thought, mother, I love mother. You went with the word that you love mother, but you got married yourself, but you have something to do. So the question is that all turns back to this attachment. So this Sri Ramakrishna is teaching here. In spiritual life, we will have to detach. How much one will do, depending on one's capacity. Being in the life, okay, stay in the world, be like ordinary person, but mentally detached and love Thakur. We call love God and live a beautiful life. So this is the proof that no one loves, but God is the center of love. Now, many make a show of grief, know beforehand that they will have to weep. The first there is talking about some people are so not real grief, but a fake show of love. Most of the world where there is selfishness, is deep selfishness, all sweet words are superficial. And where genuine love is there, they don't talk much. They show there by their action. So Sri Ramakrishna giving an example, many make a show of grief, knowing beforehand that they will have to weep. They first take off their nose rings, other ornaments, put them securely in some place, and lock it. Then they fall on the ground and weep. Oh friend, what has fallen us? You will not understand these things when we saw in the villages. In the villages, they express their emotions out loud. So someone in the neighboring person has died, so they are very concerned. So they will, may not be from the heart, but social responsibility. So they will take care of the gold ornaments and rings took out. I didn't see that, but Ramakrishna giving a grosser example that kept the gold and ornament separate. And then you cry and weep and do your show of weeping. So, Narendra. Narendra is now putting some other question. How can I believe without proof that God incarnates himself as a man? No. He turned the whole table in the other side. He said that was the question was going on, that one should have to have some devotion to God to understand the world is not permanent, it is illusory, and we will have to follow the path of God, seeing God everywhere, or practicing God, and bringing God in our every relationship. That is the point we are reading. Now the question was that Girish Ghosh says God incarnates in human body, and Ramakrishna is God. Naren does not believe it. Naren says, how the God, who is so powerful, so big, how can he be like a man? Impossible. So that's why Narendra is putting the question, how can I believe without any proof that God incarnates himself as a man? Girish says, faith alone is sufficient. Faith. Faith alone is sufficient. What is the proof that these objects exist here? Faith alone is the proof. What is our whole life stands on faith, no? You are driving the car in the freeway. You know, faith, that no one will come and just hit you. You are walking in the street, the other cars are being driven. You have faith that unnecessarily no one is going to hit you or hit and run, unnecessarily. It may be some inadvertently did and then to escape they do. But not normally. Our life is best. Suppose you go to restaurant for eating. You know, you have the faith that they are not giving poison to you. Many monomaniac people will think they don't go here. Oh, they may give poison. If it has entered into the mind, so they won't take anything. Even in the home they prepare, they say they will test very well whether it is there is poison or not. So we live in faith. Our whole life. We in the childhood we are said, he is your uncle. Who knows who is my uncle? I faith, believe. So whole life moves on faith, normally. So that's why faith is enough. Girish says, faith is enough. What is the proof of these objects? If these objects are real or unreal? It's faith. It's there. Faith alone is the proof, a devotee. Have philosophers been able to prove that the external world exists outside us? But they say we have irresistible belief in it. In a Vedanta analysis, we say this world is all not there. Your mind is creating the object. It is not, there is nothing, there is only Brahman. But you are creating all these things by your mental imagination. So this is the theory. But is it not on faith for the beginning? You go to any scientific research, you take the theory first. Is it not a belief? You start your experiment believing, no? You go to the chemistry lab and they are giving some salt and there is a procedure. So you believe if we follow this procedure, this result will come. Is it not faith at the very beginning when you start with? So everything is faith at the beginning. And then with that faith if you move and this can be verified, then you say, yes, it is true. So this world is unreal. We just read. Have the philosopher is not a faith at the beginning? Like we are reading every day. Is it not a faith for us? I try to understand with my reason, but still it is a faith. It is so solid. and you are saying it is all unreal. Huh? You say that, oh, you sleep and then this real world goes away. Where it goes away? I wake up, I see it. So it is a faith. But you follow the principle of Vedanta and do reasoning, and a point will come, it will be established in your heart, and you can see that it is all unreal. But only Brahman is the real. So so Girish to Narendra, you would not believe even if God appeared before you. God himself might say he was God, born as a man, but perhaps you would say that he was a liar and a cheat. That is always this discussion goes on. So Girish said that even God comes and tells, yes, I am here, you will not believe him. Because you want reason, you want this another type of test. Nothing. Everyone starts their life with faith. Our every movement is based on faith. Faith. I plan so many things. Is it not the faith that I will live tomorrow? If you think that you are not here, you may not be here tomorrow, this morning, then we do not have any planning. But we are planning. I'll do this, and next year I'll do this, I'll invest this money here, I'll take out this, or I'll work for this project for this way, another project. It's all faith that we live. But there is no guarantee that really I'll live tomorrow. That's true. But the whole world is running. No?
But it's faith or hope that I'm hoping that tomorrow I may die, but I...
No, 90% people don't think that I may die. Morite chahina ami sundar bhuvane. We don't want to die. 90% people will like to live on this world. Who are bitterly beaten by the world, they, or those who are very renunciate, they can say, this world is not a good place to stay. But I am here. No. But they are ready to die. You go to hospital. People are just saying, no, I want to die. I don't want to die. Critical condition. It's not a very good living. But that is the fascination for our life. And that is irresistible. We are ingrained into our consciousness.
But you don't know what you will be getting into over there either.
Right. So true. The conversation turned to the immortality of the gods. Narendra, what is the proof of their immortality? God's immortality? Narendra always questions, no? Girish says, you would not believe it even if the gods appeared before you. He is only putting no logic, but he is just counteracting Narendra. Narendra, that the immortals existed in the past requires proof. There should be some proof that it was there. Like in material world, we need some proof to understand, oh, this is the cause, this is the effect. M whispered something to Poltu. Poltu, smilingly to Narendra, what need is there for the immortals to be without beginning? To be immortal, one need only be without end. Narendra then put the question, Narendra is the son of a lawyer. Master smilingly saying. Narendra is giving one argument, and his friend Poltu, he is giving another argument. So Sri Ramakrishna is smilingly and jokingly saying, he is enjoying this conversation, this debate. Sri Ramakrishna said, Narendra is the son of a lawyer, no? His father, Narendra's father was the High Court lawyer. But Poltu's father, is a deputy magistrate. So no one goes less. So the argumentative, very argumentative. All kept silent a while. Jogin then smilingly said, he, meaning the master, does not accept Narendra's words anymore. Master smilingly, one day I remarked that the chatak bird does not drink any water except that which falls from the sky. Narendra said, the chatak drinks ordinary water as well. Then I said to the Divine Mother, Mother, then are my words are untrue? I was greatly worried about it. Another day later on, Narendra was here. Several birds were flying about in the room. He exclaimed, "There, there." "What is there?" I asked. Ramakrishna said, I asked. Narendra said, "There is your chatak." I found they were only bats. Since that day, I don't accept what Naren says at all. Because Naren is very convincing, and Swamiji used to believe in everything what Naren says. So he believed. There is a story, the chatak, when thirsty, they don't eat, drink ordinary water. The chatak will only drink only pure water coming in the Sati nakshatra, from the star Sati, when the water will fall that day, and then that water they will drink, and pure water. But Ramakrishna said this chatak will be dying out of thirst, but will not drink ordinary water, drain water, polluted water. He only drinks the Sati nakshatra water. So, some Sri Ramakrishna said, for that reason I don't believe. Nowadays I don't take every word what he says as true, because he does not understand the difference between chatak, bird, and the bats. So he's making, and he's convinced that yes, bats take ordinary water, true, but chatak does not. Anyhow, at Jodumallik's garden house, Narendra said to me, "The forms of God that you see are the fiction of your mind." Naren convincingly says, because he does not believe in this dualistic vision and emotions, no. He is a Vedanta. God is not without any form, without any name. And if it is without any form, how can it be with form? So that is the eternal conflict. So, Naren said to Ramakrishna, that forms of God that you see, Ramakrishna used to see all the mothers walking, mother talking, all these divine forms so real. He says it is fiction of your mind. You are just hallucinating. I was amazed and said to him, "But they speak to me." Narendra answered, "Yes, one may think so. That's also your hallucination. You think that God is talking to you. Many hallucinating people does not see. We will get many stories too if you go to the psychiatrists. Many people talk about talking to gods and goddesses and angels and this and that, but they are all from the mind. Everything from the mind, but this mind is creating something. If it is really your angel vision, if it is real God vision, if they talk to you, your life will be transformed. You are not the same person anymore. You need not have to go to the psychiatrist. Psychiatrists will come to you to get their mind clean. So this is the thing. Yes, one may think so. I went to the temple and wept before Mother. "Oh Mother," I said, Ramakrishna saying, "Oh Mother," I said, "what is this? Then is this all false?" How could Naren say that? Instantly, I had a revelation. I saw consciousness, indivisible consciousness, and a divine being formed of the consciousness. Aha. The divine form said to me, "If your words are untrue, how is it that they tally with the facts?" Thereupon, I said to Narendra, "You rogue, you created unbelief in my mind. Don't continue here anymore." That means he scolded Narendra, saying that because for Ramakrishna is not hallucination. And then he cried to the Divine Mother, and what a vision. See, think of that. He saw that indivisible one, infinite consciousness, and out of that a divine form is coming out. And then that form is telling, no, your vision is real. So why shall I believe your words? Main problem of visions and experiences is what you know. Because if we are 20 people standing in the same place, we will see the world as world. That holy man will see divine there. No? Think of that experience when Ramakrishna was in what you call the Dakshineshwar, no? When he is actually seeing the first vision of Mother. The whole temple is full of light, an ocean of light, no? And he's seeing that, he's overwhelmed, and he's sinking into that. There are so many priests also standing there. He is not the alone person. What did they say? They saw, oh, Ramakrishna fainted. They saw only this much. Ramakrishna fainted. And they said, oh, what to do? Carried him to his room. And he rested there for that day and the next day. But what happened to Ramakrishna? Ramakrishna himself saw. It's the ocean of light, ocean of consciousness. Here happened the same thing. He saw, again I read, I saw consciousness, big consciousness, dash, individual consciousness, and a divine being formed of the consciousness. The divine form said to me, not only it is formed, then it talked to me. If your words are untrue, Ramakrishna, the divine form is telling Sri Ramakrishna, if your words are untrue, how is it that they tally with the facts? That means you read the Upanishads, it matches with your experience. How does it do? Thereupon I said to Narendra that you created unbelief in my mind, etc. The discussion continued. Narendra was arguing. He was then slightly over 22 years of age. A boy of 22 years, so much fire. This part we read in December 3, 2003. And today is 21. Almost to 17 years afterwards reading the same place, the Gospel. It takes so many years to come to this point again. Narendra to Girish, M and others. Narendra is saying, how am I to believe in the words of scriptures? Again he is putting the question. You say scripture should be. Ramakrishna said, it matches with the scriptures. The divine form came and he told Ramakrishna, if it is all false, how it matches with the scriptures. Then he said, what scriptures? Scripture talked so many things. One scripture says this, another scripture says that. No? So, how am I to believe in the words of scriptures? The Mahanarmana Tantra says in one place that unless a man attains the knowledge, highest knowledge of Brahman, he goes to hell. And the same book says in another place that there is no salvation without the worship of Parvati, the Divine Mother. In the same book, you can also find so much controversies in the whole Gospel. When he's talking about devotion, when he's talking about jnana, when he's talking about ecstasy, no? Apparent contradictions you can find. So that is the point Naren is raising. How can I believe the scripture? The same scripture says that one goes to hell. How? Why? Unless a man attains the knowledge. Okay? And in the same book, it says that there is no salvation without the worship of Parvati. That means promoting the mother worship. Manu writes about himself in the Manusmrita. Moses described his own death in the Pentateuch. Sankhya philosophy says that God does not exist because there is no proof of its existence. Again, the same philosophy says that one must accept the Vedas and that they are eternal. But I do not say these are not true. I simply don't understand them. Please explain them to me. People have explained the scriptures according to their fancy. Which explanation shall we accept? White light coming through a red medium appears red, through a green medium, green. So, these are Narendra's question. If it is true, the scripture all will say the same thing. But different scriptures at different point of time talking different thing. How shall I take them to be real? That's my question. I'm not saying they are wrong. But here is my confusion. And Ramakrishna, of course, reconciled that. A different state of mind. In which plane of mind you are, no? Suppose you are here looking at the ground, no? We can see there is a plant, there are plants, there is the house, there is the bookstore. You go up 1,000 feet high. You see a different, you will describe the same place differently. Go higher, then this view is an extending view. You are seeing something else. Is it wrong? Is it right? Yeah, everything is right. That should be the response. But according to the state of journey. And when you reach a top, everyone will have the same experience. But on the journey they will be different. That's why the scriptures talk so many ways. A devotee. The Gita contains the words of Krishna, Narendra. Yes, Krishna or any fellow for that matter. Sri Ramakrishna was amazed at these words of Narendra. Master then started taking. This is a fine discussion. There are two interpretations of the scriptures. One is the literal, another is real. You take the literal word, then you will be confused. But real, what is the indicated value? So you have to understand that. One should accept the real meaning alone, what agrees with the words of God. There is a vast difference between the words written in the letter and the direct words of its writer. The scriptures are like the words of the letter. The words of God are direct words. So that means books are giving some hints of the truth. No. You have visited some place and you give such a description. Your description will be much less than your own experience. You may have experienced much joy, but you are saying, oh, it was joyful experience. Only one word. I don't understand what you mean by joyful experience. But if I can go there and see, then I can understand the joy, how much joy is there. So similarly in spiritual life, there are two ideas. One is the indicated meaning, what they want to express, avang manasa gocharam, that is the truth. But they still write about that. So when you express in language, a truth is, it is defiled, watered down. When you talk about your experience, you water down the material. Suppose you had a very delicious something you have ate today. Whenever you are trying to express that, how did you feel? Wow, so good, so tasteful. What does it mean? So tasteful, so good, it was wonderful. It's wonderful. What does it mean? I don't get anything out of it. It's few expressions. But are you not trying to express what you have experienced? So scriptures also, what is the experience is there at the background, and expression is here. So anything unless you have the direct. So I do not accept anything unless it agrees with the direct words of the Divine Mother. The conversation again turned to divine incarnation. Narendra, it is enough to have faith in God. I do not care about what He is doing or what He hangs from. Infinite is the universe, infinite are the incarnations. That is the conclusion of Narendra. Narendra ultimately says, God is infinite, His incarnations are also infinite. Asankheyaha avatara. Avatars are many. Krishna took Arjuna and he's seeing from a distance. What is that? He said that it is a grapevine. And what is that? He said, go close. It is avatar of Krishna, no? One Krishna. Well, no, go close and see. Bunch of, huge number of avatars. The whole universe. God appears. Why only one? That means you are limiting the power of God. Sri Ramakrishna heard the words, infinite is the universe, infinite are the incarnation. He said with folded hands, ah, ah, ah. M whispered something to Bhavanath. Bhavanath, quote, M says, as long as I have not seen the elephant, how can I know whether it can pass through the eye of a needle? I do not know God. How can I understand through reason whether or not He can incarnate Himself as a man? Master said, everything is possible for God. It is He who casts the spell. The magician swallows the knife and takes it out again. He swallows stones and bricks. And the magicians do so many feats in their magic. But it is possible. God, the Creator, He can do whatever He likes. That's why it is said, what is God is doing? He is only passing the elephant through the eye of the needle. How it is possible? But for God everything is possible. So, a devotee, so we can end here. That means everything is possible for God. So what do we get after all this discussion today? We get this, that we cannot limit God, and God cannot be expressed totally. Infinite God, infinite consciousness, infinite God, infinite manifestation. So that is the message of Sri Ramakrishna. Also Sri Ramakrishna today didn't speak much, but Sri Ramakrishna is observant. And he likes this type of dispute between Narendra and Girish and other people. And everyone was watching the discussion. But conclusion, see, Narendra, though putting question, but conclusion, that's why Naren is Naren. That's why Thakur used to love. Naren's conclusion, I read it again. He said that infinite God is Ramakrishna. He said, I do not care about what he is doing, incarnation or etc. Infinite is the universe. Infinite is the universe. Infinite are the incarnations. And listening to that, Sri Ramakrishna was very much moved. He said with a folded hand, and said, ah, ah, ah. He appreciated the idea that God is infinite and the world is infinite.
I want to ask question, but both are from two different scripture, not from gospel.
What? What it says? In Bhagavatam, Sukadeva was meditating on Brahmin, on Brahman maybe, without attributes. Merge with it, then how form of God attracts him. Is not the Nirguna Brahman the ultimate above form of God? Yes, when the mind dies, that is the point. But Thakur said, it is not contradictory. God may be infinite, but when you come down into the level, one step down, then the same God, infinite, absolute, will appear as finite. Like he becomes Krishna, he becomes Vishnu, he becomes Shiva, he becomes Mother Kali. So these are the divine forms. Like that Ramakrishna's example, we read every time that this ice in the ocean, it is all water, that's Nirguna, infinite ocean. You cannot find east, west, north, south, you cannot find an end. Soulless, soulless ocean, that is Brahman. Yeah, that is the when you lose your identity totally. But when you come back again from that infinite oneness, and God sometimes takes a form of incarnation. Yes, that's why Christ, Buddhas, Ramas, Krishnas, they are the incarnations. They are not fake. And it is not impossible that God, and if we say so, then also reason says you are limiting God. You are not, God cannot do this. You are saying God cannot do that. But God cannot do that is then he is not God. God should be Sarva Shaktiman, all powerful. So therefore, when we merge it with them, then there is no God to attract or anything. But is not the Nirguna Brahman the ultimate? Yes, that is the ultimate when one goes to Samadhi. His ego is totally gone. But when so long he has little ego, he will have to accept it is a range of Saguna. As I give more argument, is this, suppose you go to the Pacific Ocean and I see, think of Pacific Ocean. You close your eyes and what you are thinking now? Can you think of Pacific Ocean? Though you have visited that. You only make a map of Pacific Ocean, isn't it? So is not that Nirguna or is it Saguna or it is Nirguna? It is Saguna. Because you cannot think of the infinite. Your mind is there. And your mind becomes purified, you can think little bigger. Little bigger. But that's also a map of the Pacific Ocean, not the real Pacific Ocean. So with the mind you cannot think of Nirguna. Mind should die. That's our Yoga Vasishtha and others says. Mano nasha. Total nash. Then it's, but when you are again in the pure mind, you will see the God's form. Ramakrishna saw. Kathopanishad says, it says, annihilated body into mind. In Kathopanishad it says, annihilate body into mind, mind into intelligence, intelligence into Atman. But we cannot think without the intelligence. Then how intelligence can be annihilated into Atman? Yes, that intellectually we cannot find it. As a body, I am not the body, you put it into the prana. Prana, I am not the prana, put it into the mana. Mana, I am not the mind, I am in the buddhi. And the buddhi is also to be plunged into ego. And the ego is to be merged into Brahman. But we do that every day. When you go to sleep, you do this. Your body identity, you are in the bed, you know that you are sleeping. No, you are going to sleep. So your body identity is there. The body goes into your mind, is pulled. That's why you see dream. And when mind also goes into the inner realm, your ego, that's why you say, I slept, I had a dream, I got a good sleep. That I. This happening every day up to going up to I. But by yoga practice, when you can transcend that I also, then you are Brahmagyani. That's why there is no difference that susupti and the knowledge of the highest, Brahmagyana, only differs. I do not know anything and I know everything. Because when you go to sleep every day, look at that. When you sleep, we do not know anything, really. But there was something in you which allows you to say that I do not know anything. Who can say, I do not know anything? Something has happened today, maybe here. I say, oh, I don't know anything. Huh? Means what? I know that I do not know. Logic, very important logic. I know that I don't. I know no knowledge is the sign of consciousness. So I am the eternal consciousness. I have seen that in the deep sleep I do not know anything. No? There is a veil of ignorance. But when you go to Samadhi, this veil breaks and you enter into the ocean of consciousness. So this is the difference. It is to be practiced every day. I am not the body, not the mind. If you analyze this, then you annihilate your body. Then you annihilate your mind. Your intellect. Intellect also a function of your brain. You are thinking. Intellect gives you the thinking power. You think today the world is like this. Today's theory about, say, one field, neuroscience, is one. But it is not permanent. Tomorrow it will be something different. But that, so buddhi, intelligence, is not a static thing. When we are fifth grade boys, we have our intelligence. And now at your mature age, we have our intelligence. It's not the same intelligence. Intelligence have changed, improvised. So it is not permanent. And that intelligence will lose its power. Intelligence can go up to that far, and afterwards it fails to go further. It dies. Intelligence dies into our ego consciousness. Ego consciousness dies into Atman consciousness. So this is the way. Okay. Okay. So we end here. There is no more questions. So thank you all for joining. And today we talked too much about renunciation. Don't mind. Intention is to understand how to get freedom, and that attachment is the blockage. So today discussion came because Narayan was talking high Vedanta and other things. So Ramakrishna was in a mood to give the idea detachment. But don't think detachment is a very negative thing. Detachment is joyful thing. You can enjoy the life more with detached. Suppose you are eating and someone gives you food, good food, you put in your tongue, say, ha, 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 wonderful, wonderful. Detached. If you are attached, then you'll ask it tomorrow. And if tomorrow the food is not up to that good quality, then you will decry the entire cooking. What did you do it? We can't eat it. See? Today's attached food becoming a frustration for tomorrow. So therefore detachment is best. Eat, enjoy, finish. When you make reference, then you will be elated or you will be down. So this is freedom. We lose our freedom by attaching to things. So this is the very core principle we will have to understand. All spiritual seekers will have to understand. The core principle is to detachment. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Tomorrow is whose class? Bhagavad Gita, 7:30 will be by Sattamayananda Swami. So please come, attend. Not to come. We cannot ask you to come here, but mentally you come. And online. Thank you. Jai Ma.